Most Vercel security guides tell you to enable the firewall. That's the last thing I would fix. But here's what actually matters and in what order. I'm Chris from Pagepro. Clutch says we are top Next.js and Sanity agency. Maybe I'm biased, but I would agree. Most of our projects run on Vercel. So when Vercel had a security breach in April, I checked what happened. It's the clearest proof that configuration matters more than firewalls. Here's the short version on what happened in April. Malware infected one employee at Context AI, a third-party AI tool. The attacker got access to Context AI backend. Inside they found something valuable, OAuth tokens belonging to users of Context AI customer product. And one of those tokens belonged to Vercel employee. The token gave access to employee Google Workspace. MFA wasn't asked because the token was already proof of login. The employee used Google SSO to log in to Vercel. So once the attacker had Google, they also had Vercel. And from there, customer environment variables. Some of Vercel customers were safe, others had to rotate everything. The difference was in one change in settings. I think about Vercel security in 3 layers. Layer 1, secrets and environment variables. Most teams handle this partially. Layer 2, identity and access. Most teams skip this. Layer 3, your deployment surface. Most teams don't audit it. Layer 1, secrets and environment variables. Vercel lets you mark a variable as sensitive. Most people think this just hides the value in the dashboard, but that's wrong. The sensitive flag is architectural. When you mark a variable as sensitive, Vercel API has no way to return that decrypted value. Even if you're a team member, even you have full API access, decryption only happens inside your build container or running app. And this is exactly why some customers were safe during the breach. The attacker had full account access, but the API simply can't return sensitive values. It's not about permissions, it's not about firewall, this is how it's designed. Rotation. If secret has never been rotated, you don't know if it's been compromised. Use 90 days rotation for critical secrets like database credentials, payment keys, signing keys, and every 6 months for the rest. And one more trigger, when somebody leaves the team, rotate immediately. Layer 1 diagnostic. Can you name every secret in your project and do you remember when it was last rotated? Layer 2, identity and access. This is the layer the April breach exploited, and this is the one almost no team audits. First, MFA. In this breach, the attacker never reached a login, so MFA never ran, but NFA stops most of other attacks. Make sure every team member has it activated. Second, OAuth grants. Every third-party tool you connected to Google Workspace still has access. Tools you stopped using months ago are still connected. Open Google Workspace admin panel, go to security, then API controls and access setups. Look what's there. This matters most if your team uses Google SSO to log in into Vercel, because then your Google Workspace is the master key to your Vercel. Revoke everything or anything you don't use. Make it a quarterly habit or put it in the calendar. Third, Vercel CLI tokens. They stay active after team members leave. Check personal tokens and team tokens. Revoke stale ones. Now the part most people ignore. Vercel has several roles like owner, member, developer, billing or viewer. Most teams give everyone owner or member because it's easy. But there's a role called developer. The developer role lets engineers deploy projects, but it doesn't let them view production secrets. This is the single biggest underused fix on Vercel. If your dev needs to deploy, but doesn't need to see your production secrets, give them the developer role. Same productivity and much better security. Same logic applied to April breach. If engineers Google gets stolen, the developer role caps what attacker can do on your site. Level 2 diagnostic. Can you name every OAuth tool connected to your workspace? Do you still use all of them? Are you using the correct Vercel user roles? Layer 3. Your deployment surface. Most teams think of their Vercel app as a one thing. It's actually several environments: production, staging, preview branches, each with its own surface. Each branch push creates a preview URL. Newer pro projects are protected by default, but older projects and hobby plans are public by default. And many teams turned protection off for easy link sharing and they forgot about that. Check your actual settings. If your previews are using production data or production credentials, lock them down. Or use dummy data instead. Even better, use different envars for previews. Now, Vercel firewall, attack challenge mode, rate limiting. These are great tools and very effective tools, but they are useful during active attack. They wouldn't have stopped the April breach. Layers 1 and 2 would have. That's why firewall comes last, not first. Layer 3 diagnostic. Are your previews publicly accessible? Do they use production credentials? Have you separated preview envars from production? Here's how to actually do this. Today, under 30 minutes. Mark every secret as sensitive in your Vercel envars. Rotate any critical credential older than 90 days, others over 6 months. Audit OAuth grants in your Google Workspace. This week, review your Vercel team members, remove ex-contractors, check Vercel CLI tokens, revoke stale ones, lock down previous deployments, move team members to the developer role where it makes sense. This quarter and on repeat. OAuth review, rotation cycle, branch protection review. The full checklist is in the description. Get it and share it with your team. The teams that were fine during the April breach didn't have better firewalls. They did the boring work in layers 1 and 2. Your configuration decisions limit the damage when something goes wrong. That's what's in your control. Some of these sticks once you set them, others drift, like OAuth grants, ex-contractors, rotations. That's the work you do forever. The hardest part of this checklist isn't doing it once, it's doing that every quarter forever. If your team doesn't have time and patience for that, we do. At Pagepro, we run maintenance SLAs for Next.js teams. We handle the ongoing maintenance, secrets, role, audits, dependencies, the boring work done on schedule. Want to hear more? Link is also in the description. Thanks for today, see you next time.